Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's the Fonz, and today's video is one that I know a lot of people need help with. It's what to do if your Mercedes CLS, or any Mercedes really, gets stuck in max height. So if you press your height to go over a speed bump or whatever, or if it just gets stuck at max height for whatever reason, this is the most likely cause. So on the CLS, you're going to go to the driver's side in the front, and you're going to take this cover off. There should just be a couple of these plastic things that you got to take off, and then you basically just kind of yank it out of the fender here. It's hard to do with one hand, but I'll do it. Get it out like that, and you kind of just twist it out like this. And there's the first part. Okay, so next, you want to come in here and you want to look at these wires. These two wires specifically, the smaller ones. There's this, that's power to the compressor, I believe. These are the bigger ones. And then there's this smaller wire, which, if I can get you guys in here, I can't really, but I'm going to try. Okay, there. That one, your wires might be a different color. Mine are white, obviously. You're going to check these wires. These have already been repaired once right here, and you're going to most likely see these little cuts in your wire. And actually, here's one that I haven't done yet that I missed, which is good for the video's sake. But right there, you see that? That right there, that is, there's no wires exposed yet, but you can actually see the black cover for the wires inside there. And what happens is when your car goes, when you raise and lift your car and raise and lift it or lower, these wires rub against your whatever this block is called. I can't remember. Your valve block, I think, is what it's called. This wire rubs against there, and it was rubbing here, and I've taped it up. These ones were fixed before I got the car, because that's not factory. And this one was, I'll actually insert a picture in the video because I took a picture of it before I fixed it, but that was completely rubbed through. And what happened was, oh, see, you hear the air suspension right now. It wasn't doing this before. When you would jack the car up, nothing would happen. These wires are responsible for venting the air from your air suspension, and if there's not enough voltage going through this wire, it simply won't work. So I mean, this is just a temporary fix, but I just cut the broken section, stripped the wire, so there's about, I don't know, 1/4 inch, twist them together and wrapped it until I get to work in a couple days, and then I'll do it properly. And these ones, since they're not actually torn, all I did was just covered them in tape. But if you see metal, like the actual wire inside of the cover exposed, chances are there's pieces of the wire missing and there's not enough voltage going through there for it to do anything. So I'm going to pause this quickly and just tape up the other wire, and be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got those taped up now for temporarily so that everything works. And I have, for now, I've just zip tied these wires together to try and prevent them from rubbing against this. I wonder, actually, you know what, I might just take some sandpaper and scuff the edge of this so it's not so sharp, because that's the whole reason that these wires are rubbing. These ones were caught on the clip down here. It's when the car goes up and down, the wires, I guess, move around a bit and they get snagged. But yeah, once you do this, once you tape up those wires and have a good connection, lower your car back on the ground, open and close the door, and you should hear the suspension go back to normal. However, I do recommend disconnecting the battery first before you do this. Otherwise, you might pop the airbag fuse, which, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I've also heard a couple horror stories of people just unplugging or pulling the airbag fuse. Not the SRS airbag, the suspension airbags, and it like shorting out one of the modules from static electricity. So not a bad idea to disconnect the battery before you do this. But yeah, if your car is getting stuck or it won't vent air, then this is 9 out of 10 times going to be the issue. If it's not that, then it's the actual valve inside the compressor that's probably rusty and whatnot. However, that doesn't, I don't know, this car's only got 120,000 kilometers, so yeah, I doubt that the compressor is going to be that rusty that quick. But you never know. It all depends on where you live, how cold, how hot, how damp it is, and all those other factors. So hopefully this helps somebody out, because I was lost when this first happened. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, my car looks like a monster. It looks like it looked like it is right now. And I had to drive around with it at max height the whole time, and it was floaty and felt like I was driving a truck that's not a truck, if that makes any sense. But anyways, hope this helped some of you guys out. Fonz out. Also, one more thing before I go. If you guys are having this issue, you do not want your bags to stay inflated like that for too long. Like a few days is okay, but anything more than that, you're really pushing it, because that's a lot of stress on the airbags and they will blow out. I know somebody that had this happen. Their compressor wasn't venting, and then pretty much the same time, passenger bag blew and then the driver's side bag blew, and it was very loud and the car just dropped. Apparently it hit the ground, so that is not ideal. So yeah, if you're having this issue, you either want to jump the connectors on your thing if you don't want to do this, but this is way easier. So yeah, definitely get that done sooner than later, because it will cause way more problems in the future.